This is going to be a quick tutorial to help you get your Herpstat SpyderWeb device connected to your local network. To start off with, you're going to need to go to the physical device, open up the menu, and select the access point option. Give it a moment for it to start the access point. Then on your phone, in this case, I'm using an Android phone, I'm pulling down the menu bar, selecting my internet option to check out for Wi-Fi networks. You can see here I have a example home network set up called My Home Router, and the Herpstat is showing up. I click on that. I'm going to click on the Show Password option so I can check for any typos when I put in this password. The default password is SpyderAdmin, all one word. Once I've entered the password, I click Connect. It's going to try to connect directly to the Herpstat device. You can see it shows a Sign In to Network option that's popped up. I click on that, and here's the Sign In option here. Sometimes it'll automatically bring you to this page. Sometimes you have to click those extra Sign In options. So here is the basic page, and what we're trying to do here is to get the Herpstat connected to your home network. That's the main portion of this that we want to accomplish. So as you can see, we have a drop-down box here. If we click this, if you had multiple Wi-Fi networks in the area, they would be listed here. You can see my example is listed here, My Home Router. I'm going to click on that. And down here, I'm going to enter my home network's password. In this case, it's just test1234. And of course, not a very secure password, but this is just an example. And you have a submit option here. You should also be able to click your continue down here, but we'll hit the submit button. What this is going to do now is it's going to have the Herpstat try to connect to your home network directly. You'll see some information on the Herpstat LCD screen, including if it connects or if it doesn't connect, and the IP address that it's given. This information is only going to show up shortly, so but in a moment you'll be able to get back to that. Let's go ahead and make sure our phone is connected to Wi-Fi to the home network as well. So I'm just going to pull down my bar again, go back to my Wi-Fi or internet options, and connect to my home router. We already know I have it set to test1234, and I can click Show Password just to confirm I don't have any typos. So now we have my phone connected to the home network, and we also have the Herpstat connected to the home network. We can click Done, and we can click Home to get us to our home page on the phone. On the Herpstat, if you hit the minus button a couple of times, you'll see a screen that says Wi-Fi as a header. That's where we're going to get our IP address. Okay, in this case, I'm going to pull up our Chrome browser. You can use whatever browser is on your particular phone. And we're going to type in the IP address that it shows on that Wi-Fi stat screen. For this particular unit, it is 192.168.1.142. And go. Now you can see this looks very similar to the access point setup, but we have a couple of new options. We have login, status, charts, admin, and you can see this is the IP address that I typed in to the browser. This IP address was given to the Herpstat from your router when it first got connection. Okay, we're going to log in again with the default password, SpyderAdmin, and hit submit. All right, we have our first screen of the setup wizard. Now you can see what it's going to do is make us change this default password. We don't want other people to have the opportunity to get into this device, so we want to change it. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to add a 1 to this, but you should change this to a unique password that you can remember. Might be a good idea to grab a post-it and write some notes down for what passwords you set. So the admin password I have here is SpyderAdmin1. I'm going to hit next. Okay, here we're going to name the Herpstat. If you had multiple Herpstats, let's say you had multiple SpyderWeb devices controlling your equipment, you could call this Cage 1, or something unique to the environment. Somebody might put their animal name here, something like that. We'll hit continue. All right, now we need an email address. What this is used for is if you set up the email alerts, this is the address that it will send to. It's also necessary if you're going to be using the option to upload the statistics to the SpyderWeb, to the Herpstat.com website. So we're going to punch in an email address here. And let me just punch in my sample one. Okay, one thing to note here, sometimes if you have an AOL email address, Yahoo, Hotmail, some of those are very particular about spam. If you don't get your verification emails or have problems, I suggest setting up another email address like with Google, Gmail, or some other address that's less particular about spam. Okay, we're going to go ahead and click next. Okay, it brought me back to this. Let's get back here. Sorry about that. All right, we're going to go to continue. Okay, so now it's sending the verification email. You can see that at this point you'll get a little sound from the device. We have a green screen there, which means it was successful sending the email. So it was able to communicate with our server and send the email out. Now we need to check for a code from our email. So let me pull this down, and as you can see, we got an email here. And here's our code, 7004. I'm just going to pull my browser back up, punch in my 7004, continue. Okay, now it's asking if we want to have our statistics uploaded to the Herpstat.com site. Currently, this is a free feature, and it'll allow you to check and see your statuses remotely away from home. This feature does not allow you to change your settings away from home because there's some security issues with that we felt for this situation you'll just be able to see your status. So this is going to upload it. We're going to check that and hit continue. And as you can see, we're at the last page of the wizard, letting us know that it's been completed. We're going to hit continue. And here we are. We're right at the admin page of the device. You can see many of the things we've already set, like here's our Cage 1 nickname that we gave the unit. You have your email options if you want to schedule emails. All your other different options here. If you wanted to restart, if you did something wrong or wanted to change things, you can always click this box and click the submit to restart the wizard option. Or this option here is where you're going to click for all your different settings, your outputs. This is how you're going to enable your different outputs and so forth. We're just going to leave these disabled at the moment. That'll be a whole nother section. You can change your system settings and so forth. You always have to make sure you hit that save and exit when you exit out of a configuration. Okay, so this is your basic, how you get it connected to the network. This allows you to be up and running so that you can start playing around with the settings through the phone and without having to touch the device. You can get to just about everything right from here. You can see all of our status on the status page for our different outputs and the main system status. And we can log out when we're done. Anytime you want to check on the device, if you're at home and you're on your Wi-Fi network, you can just punch in your IP address that was given to the Herpstat. Right here is the one we used into the browser, and it's going to bring you to this page where you can log in and so forth. And that's it. That's how you get started with the device. Thank you.